All right, guys, let's have a look at Tesla quickly. This is basically weekend one, so next week is going to be short one. And here's the price action for the stock. It's going to be pretty quick one as well. So yeah, we all know after FOMC, after rate cut, stock dumps pretty hard, pretty big actually. And again, it's purely profit taking for me. Again, I don't think that this is just panic selling at all. It's just, I mean, after stock moves up so much, I mean, why wouldn't you take a profit at some point, right? I thought we would touch 500, well, 10, 15 bucks short, 12 bucks short. And then every time it tried to rally on an hourly basis as well, if you take a look at maybe even 10-minute chart, basically sellers started coming in and it was pretty much getting sold off. Thursday, gaps up, immediately sells off. Friday, slight a bit of a, uptick, tried to push with overall market, and into the close of a day, it sold off. And what's funny is it tried to close actually at $400.69, which was pretty crazy. It didn't close right there, but it closed at $400.62. But what I'm watching in terms of price action for the name from here, yeah, short week ahead. And if you take a look at the moving averages, the support from here, probably 400 and 392. This is your 20-day moving average. So anytime stock goes below 5-day, I turn cautious and neutral. So that's what I am. So I'm going to be watching it for maybe chop around, maybe consolidate, pull back a little bit more. But if it cracks 400, that's not going to look good. But at the same time, yeah, we don't have that many days. A lot of people off on a vacation and stuff. So volume is going to be low. And also, in the beginning of the year, typically, any high flying stocks, they see profit taking. I mean, it's going to happen to Tesla as well, since it did produce. What is the year-to-date gains, actually? I'm very curious about year-to-date. 69%. At some point in Q1, Tesla was maybe top five worst stocks year-to-date in the beginning of the year. I think it was down like 30-something%. Now, stock is up year-to-date 70%. That is very, very impressive comeback. For a $1 trillion stock, I mean, that's very crazy, because this is the market capitalization of Tesla. In the beginning of the year, it starts with 800 billion, goes as low as 450 billion or so. And look at this rally, very recent top for the stock in terms of market capitalization, 1.5 trillion. And we're sitting at, back in $1 trillion club, 1.3 something, 1.35 trillion. So if it does consolidate around here, not a big problem. But the thing is, volume was, a little bit above average volume. The thing is options, right? So is it going to turn back into the premium burning mode, and a lot of people will be just milking the option activity and just selling calls and selling puts? Because there are some extreme calls that are coming in, and I'm not able to say if those people are truly buying them, because you can go take a look at the option chain yourself. But total option volume for the last few days, it's been pretty much competing with Tesla, and highest option traded stock in entire market. And the calls I'm talking about, like $900 calls, $800 calls that are expiring in 2026 January, and most of them are spreads. Could be, again, I'm not sure. It could be somebody buying 800 and selling 900 and doing a debit spread, and basically that guy, whoever it is, and there are multiple orders like this. It's not one order. There are many of them. You would be essentially betting that Tesla is going to go from 1.3 trillion to 2.5 trillion in the next year, and plus higher. maybe even 3 trillion. Like, if you think of it, these are like insane numbers, like trillions. And I'm not saying that this is this is not going to get there, but people are betting on that one. I'm not sure if these are sells again, but it does look like most of them were executed between the markets. Some executed the asking price. So if you have a software, take a look. But ultra short term, like going into like May and March, there are some insane calls too. Like February, take a look at 520 call. I mean, 520 is pretty close. It could be someone who has maybe been trying to flip it. But $600 calls, 650, 680, all those things, I mean, for ultra short term. So maybe a little bit of a profit taking at this point. Maybe even tests the 50-day moving average. I don't know if it's going to come down to this level, but if it does, that would be buy the dip opportunity, in my opinion, at around these 360 breakout areas. So 50-day moving average is going to catch up to that moment, maybe into the beginning of the year, somewhere around like first, second week of January. Because January, typically, people take some profit on high-flying names, just to for tax purposes, technically speaking, defer it a little bit for longer. And those are the levels I'm going to be watching. And if it does chop around for the rest of the year, I will not be surprised, especially after this much of a move. And volume is going to be low too. So, and first week of the new year is going to be pretty low volume as well. So maybe until next option expiration, it's going to be basically in a pretty big range, maybe from, well, so far psychologically 400, 360 support levels, and then 50-day moving average. Resistance, we know the highest closing price for Tesla right here, right now is 480. That's the resistance I would be watching to the upside. If this stock starts pushing again, maybe try to have a next leg up. But right here, right now, it does look like to me that it can rest a little bit more at these levels. But again, this is what I'm watching. If anything changes, we'll come back, take a look. But pretty impressive move so far for the year, and profit taking mode, I guess. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.